And fortunately for Pablo, he had time to get back.
Lane Berry makes his first plate appearance. Timo Perez on deck. I tell you, as a former player and as a lover of the game, it just absolutely does my heart good to see what our club has done this spring as far as playing all these young players and giving them an opportunity to face major league pitching.
Well, you know what? I looked down at Barry and I immediately thought of somebody else that had a chance like this. Leo Rodriguez.
Little Leo.
Yeah.
Pablo took off. Well, just look at here's the last game here in Tucson. Look at the list of extras we have today. Al Casanova, Jeff Bajanaro, Lane Berry, Ryan Sweeney, B.J. Lamura, Fabio Castro, Francisco Hernandez, Robert Valito, Micah Schneerstein, Leo Daigle, Dwayne Pollock, Jerry Owens, and Chris Young. I mean, that's wonderful.
Run down that list again. That was fun.
Yes.
No.
That'll put a little zip in your step if you're a minor leaguer.
Well, that's it. I mean, I don't think people can really understand the idea of a kid that's not invited to big league camp, being over there trying to make that AA team. As there goes Ozuna on the breaking ball. No chance. As he's in there head first. Get a look at Pablo and his jump. Not a great jump, but he's got good speed. Slow breaking ball, and because of it, thank you very much. No problem.
28 stolen base for the Sox this spring in 37 attempts.
But now mentioning the fact that when you're in minor league camp, not invited to big league camp, and somebody comes and taps you on the shoulder, you've been sitting over this whole time because you know a lot of your buddies have been sitting over there. They've been called up. Some of your former teammates from the minor leagues are already on the big league roster and big league camp. And you can't believe when they come and get you and you get to go play in a big league game.
Get down. It will. So Lane Berry will pick up Ozuna. And it's a 5-4 ball game, and you don't think that Miro's going to like him in the morning?
You better believe it. Take a look at Berry and his only bet on the spring. And what's he do? He sits on an off-speed pitch, picks up the RBI.
So here's Timo. Hitting in Carl Everett's spot. Carl 1 for 2. But no, Carl just hammered a single by Aaron Mild. Lane Berry, 24 years old, out of Topeka, Kansas.
There goes Berry. Timo takes the breaking ball. Berry gets in there, picking up the stolen base. Why not? Get a look. Great jump by Berry. As if he knew they were not going to be paying attention to him. Timo. Well, Timo is Timo. I don't care if he's got 2 strikes on him right now and a tough pitcher out there. And it's spring training. It seems like he concentrates in these situations. Let's see if he can do it.
Breaking ball up high, underneath it, pops it up.
To end the top of the 5th inning, look at Francisco Hernandez. He got the perfect pitch, and look at this BB he throws down to second base.
As Owens is gone. Take another look at it. Rosters the stands right now. Pitchers: Mark Burley, Jose Contreras, Neil Kotz, Freddie Garcia, John Garland, Dustin Hermanson, Orlando Hernandez, Danielson Marte, Cliff Polite, Shingo Takatsu, Luis Vizcaíno, and Kevin Walker. Catchers A.J. Pierzynski and Chris Widger. You're just getting home, tuning in. Chris Widger made this ball club. He had himself a good spring. A solid spring.
Yeah, tell her a couple weeks, you know.
Infielders. Joe Creedy, Ross Globe, Willie Harris, Tadahito Oguchi, Paul Konerko, Pablo Ozuna. What a spring he had. Frank Thomas. He's not on that list, obviously, but the Juan Uribe. The outfield. One thing about it, you know, all these guys are going north. Jermaine Dye, Carl Everett, Timo Perez, Scott Posednik, and Aaron Roy.
That's it. A couple of tough decisions yet to be made.
You know, when they're tough, that means you're pretty good.
Look at this. Lane Berry picking up his second hit.
First one was an RBI single. He also picked up a stolen base. So he's 2 for 2. Also, if you're just tuning in, Lane is the son of former Sox center fielder Ken Berry.
Just slapping it and going.
So here's Willie. High pop-up. Yeah, those decisions when you get down to the last cut or no cut at any time during spring training is nice. They're all tough, but that last cut, that can be a backbreaker. And the guy who has to do the cutting is a guy who really is hurt as much, if not more than anybody.
Well, you said no cut is easy, but there are those at the beginning of spring training that it's pretty well assumed they know they're going. So when you go in and let them know, that information is not received in any negative way.
That's tough, foul. No, but there's always that element, you know, of at least they're here, at least they get a chance to do something spectacular.
Okay.
Most of the time it doesn't work out that way.
You know, how about some young kid, you know, his first cut, first time in big league camp.
Okay.
They call him in and say, all right, young man, it's time. We got to send you down. And he goes, what? What, are you kidding me? I'm killing him. That's Willie.
And there's a base hit by Willie. Lane Berry will make the turn. He'll move into third, so one out, runners at the corners.
Boy, I'd love to see the look on a manager and general manager's face when some young kid did that. They look at each other and go, did we just hear what we heard? This young man that's been here for 10 days and never been in big league camp just air us out? That would be interesting.
Leo Daigle. Been in the play one time, grounded out to third. So Willie, decent lead. David Cortez. Ball gets away from the catcher. And Lane Berry will score. It's a 7-5 game with Willie at second.
This ball right here has to be caught by the catcher. Does look like a lack of concentration for a second and a cost. Good insight into people's thinking, their psyche. When you sit there and you're around them, you watch them, you see how they succeed, what their thought process is. All of a sudden that adversity comes up, see how they handle it, how they go about trying to get themselves out of it. And if all of a sudden they start going the opposite direction, you can see them almost go into a panic. They don't know what to do.
Lane Berry is 2 for 2 this afternoon. Kenny, in case you're just tuning in, Kenny Berry, of course, former Sox center fielder. Hopefully he's watching. His son with that RBI, a stolen base, and a run scored. And never forget when Abby started making all that excess movement. I went down into the clubhouse after the game and I looked at him and I said, what in the hell are you doing? He just smiled and he said, it's going to work.
Yes. I remember Abby being like that, thinking, hey, I can make this work.
Yeah.
I can hit.
That's because he was so short and clean to the ball before.
Right.
You know, I mean, it was like, why you? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it didn't work.
Well, you know what? That's not a conversation you need to say, because I've seen your golf changes. Okay.
Yeah, but I have never.
Okay.
I have never said I'm a good golfer.
No.
I have never said that I didn't outdone myself.
Well, we're out
Jeff
there.
was above that.
We're out there, and you're a scratch golfer. You're out there. Everything's perfect. Every swing. You decide, I'm bored. I'm going to change things. What in the world was that? I didn't know.
Well, at my age, that's my prerogative.
Yeah, nothing better to do, huh?
That's it. And look at this. Line shot. Get down. It will. That's a trap. So Lane Berry, 3 for 3. That's a bullet. Kenny has got to have a big smile on his face if he's watching.
Oh, that was a nice short swing by Lane. And he's nailing that good fastball from Matt Anderson.
Ross Glode will grab some lumber, make his first plate appearance. Talking about it. Never forget going back 20, 25 years ago. Outfield swung around to the left. Palmer and I are playing down, Arnold and I are playing down at Bay Hill. So I go out and I shoot 7 and I shoot 65 against him. Win a couple bucks, a couple beers, you know. The next day I come back, I got an entirely different set of clubs. They all changed. He looked at me, he says, "What are you doing?" Ross, good hack right there. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "What do you mean, Arnold?" He said, "Yesterday you go out and you shoot 7 under." He said, "Now you got a different driver, you got different irons, you got a different putter." I said, "Leave me alone." I got him again.
Of course. That's what I mean. I saw you do that.
I got him again.
Come up with that claw grip. I'm thinking, what in the world is that?
That's the fun of it for me, trying all these different things. You know, it really is.
Well,
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, to get back to the point, that was Abby too. The fun of it, changing his swing.
Yeah, but y'all's not my career. That baseball was his.
Exactly.
And he could hit. That's high.
He got bored, you know, and said, you know, it's time. It's time for something different. I've shown what I can do at this particular stance.
Is he out of the game now?
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
You know, he hit everywhere. He and Mags came up. They all hit everywhere they went. 330, 340. I think Mags may have been a factor in that, too. And his, the way he, I think that Jeff really thought he was as good, if not a better hitter than Mags. And Mags, when he got to the big leagues, you know, just kept on going, so to speak.
Right.
And Abby got shut down, and I think that really bothered him.
Well, again, talked about the psyche, the mindset, the mental toughness of individuals, and it starts separating at the big league level.
Yes, it does. Oh, good rep by Ross. Yeah, that's where it. That's where the rubber hits the road right there.
And Jeff got here and had plenty of confidence and success. That's not that hard, actually, if you're a good hitter to get here and have some brief success. Problem is, the pitchers figure you out. Now you have to have success with them knowing what you're capable of.
There goes Berry. And they're going to picks up his second steal. Now base hit.
He's trying to make this team.
In one game.
I mean, come on. 3 for 3. Run scored. Run driven in. 2 stolen bases. Boy, Ken Berry, you've taught this kid some skills. Never helped me in the outfield. Remember that. Remember that, too. I'm kidding, Kenny. If you're looking in, you definitely helped me.
Ross trying to take that one into left field. So the count hangs full. Leo Daigle on deck.
I told you, I used to look at some of the minor league hitters that I played with. They just were 320 hitters down there, 330. No problem. They get to the big leagues, 235. Go back to the minor leagues, 330. Get back to the big leagues, 240. I go, wait a minute, what is wrong with this picture? Something's not right. Well, it's the mindset.
Base hit. And here comes Lane Berry as there's a throw to the plate. Safe. And the Sox lead at 8-7 on the clutch 2-out single by Ross Glode.
Clutch to say the least. The only at bat for Ross Glode comes up, does a good job battling, and Anderson just lays a fastball up in the zone for him. He hit it just slow enough to allow Berry to slide home with that throw just off the mark.
Well, this has been, you know, a typical inning in Matt Anderson's career.
Yes.
Leadoff walk, you know, when you get a 1-run lead late in the ball game. Going full count, giving the guy a chance to see all your pitches, you know. I mean, that's just been a typical scenario for Matt Anderson.
And unfortunately for him.
One for our Sox, 8-13-0 for the Colorado Rockies. Pass into left field. Gary Owens is there, makes the catch, and this ball game is over. So the Sox win the final game here at Tech Park in Tucson by a score of 9-8. And let's check out our Chevrolet player of the game. And look who it is. Kenny Berry's son, Lane Berry, came in. Lane came in back in the 4th inning. He went 3 for 3, stole 2 bases, knocked in a run, scored 2. Our Chevrolet player of the game, Lane Berry. And DJ, I'll tell you once again, I want to thank